So Kalle Halvarsen leading this race deep into the second of the 3 5-kilometer rotations, coming up the real steep climb, and a big posse of almost a dozen athletes following. But at the moment, Halvarsen has got this race within his grip. Andrew Musgrave, who started some 75 seconds back, this was always going to be a sterner test than it would be if it was in freestyle skate. And he's now still in the top 30, but 25th place at the moment. And the two shakers and movers, well, in particular, it's Leivo Niskanen of Finland, who has moved up. He's earned some 20 seconds. He's eaten into Kalle Halvarsen's time. He might make the podium. It rather depends on how the pack finish in the third rotation. Somebody's going to have to make a break there.
Yeah, very much. And of course, Kalle Halvarsen, he's got to come up this hill a final time. Of course, he's going to come back down into the stadium shortly, and then on the 2.2-kilometer track back to the stadium and back out onto this final 2.8 track.
So Kalle Halvarsen having a little slip, having a little look around there. Interesting. Halvarsen, of course, who was second in the Ruka sprint and then 7th in the 15-kilometer individual 15-kilometer classic, and then the winner on Friday of the sprint, and yesterday winning the 10-kilometer free. And the pack have got him in their sights.
Well, once you get the feeling, and I think Sundby is absolutely watching Kalle Halvarsen, watching him slip a couple of times, and that's giving Sundby some energy, thinking, right, I am closing the door big time. They've taken 20 seconds off him from the stadium.
Just at the back of the pack there, Alex Harvey and De Fabiani, that very, very good racer, also well to the fore.
Hellner not letting go of Sundby. There's Sundby really punching the pace hard up this hill, but of course Markers Hellner trying to stay with them. Not an easy task by any means. Halvarsen, look at the body language, David. His head's going down a little, he's slipping more, he's almost at a walking pace now. The pace that he set off from the stadium 23 minutes later, I think, is punishing him.
Yeah, this is becoming extremely painful, and I think now well, it's worth just reflecting that, you know, no Swedish athlete has ever, in the men's division, has ever won any of the previous 24 World Cup tours. And Hellner, who is in this chasing group, there you can see in number 3, well, he's finished twice on the podium in a World Cup tour. In the World Cup final of 2010 and also the Tour de Ski of 2012. But Halvarsen's opportunity to win 33,500 Swiss francs is, well, maybe evaporating.
Well, see that look back. All the athletes behind who witnessed that realize that this man is going through some troubled times in this race. It really will feed their energy, thinking, we're going to catch him, we're going to close this door.
Yeah, you almost don't want to do that because it's such a telltale sign. You'd much rather just ski ahead and take the notes from the coaches, because they've all suddenly got a burst of energy. Finnhagen Krog in there as well, well to the fore on these speedy downhills. Characteristic, everybody talks about uphills, but this is an important phase. And he's still got over 5,000 meters to do, Mike.
He has, and that's very troubling, I think, if you're in his position right now. But he may compose himself again. He's got huge upper body strength for his double pull so far up this next climb for Halvarsen.
What's interesting, I thought Halvarsen took a little bit more risk on this corner when he went through. He allowed the skis to run because he realizes what's happening, because the brake is on here now. There they can see him, and they are really pursuing him hard.
But look at Kalle, he's having to step out of the tracks, David. The wax really is letting him down now. There's very little grip, and this is hard work when you're running on the outside. The skis are not guided as easily. He's looking back again. Negativity going through his mind. Yeah, and there's a little bit of horizontal movement in that upper body as well. It might be anxiousness more than anything. 4 on the right of your screen there, that's Finnhagen Krog, the 5th best World Cup skier of the early season so far. 7 on the left there, that's Sundby. 5 moving up there, Emil Iversen. On the far side in white for Sweden, that's Hellner.
And then you've got the under-23 ranked leader, who's also going up there. De Fabiani was the man who made the headlines in that. That is Klæbo of Norway, who's really made some progress there as well. So Halvarsen comes into the stadium, but remember, when we saw him on the previous rotation, he was going out as they were coming in.
Oh,
and now it's barely 80 metres.
Well, yes, so it was 40 seconds last time. It's the door has almost closed on him. It'll be 10, 12 seconds at best. It's 10 seconds. Niskanen, he was going through a trouble patch on the big previous climb, but he's now managed to make contact again with this chasing group. Detached there, Simon Kruger, the Norwegian, the under-23 15-kilometre champion at the under-23 Worlds last year. And look at the cadence or way that he looks as if he's just hit a wall. Well, he really has. And the skis are, I think the lack of grip on the skis are letting him down. He's putting so much energy to try and compress the ski down to get some grip. The rest, if you look at the technique, they're remaining in the track and they've got easy perches. And you can see how the pack, in this case led by Sundby, have made the progress to catch Kalle Halvarsen. And yesterday was a rare day, no Norwegian on the podium. Maybe that was a discussion at the dinner table last night. Kalle once again running out of the track, slipping madly. You know, and this is the 2.2-kilometre loop, and he's still got the big climb and the 2.8-kilometre loop to come. So really, he's got an outside chance now of winning this. Well, I think when the pack catch him, and I really believe they will, it'll be hard work for Kalle to stay with any of them. Helner dropping back there in the red boot is Liivo Niskanen. Right at the end of that pack, he's put a lot of work in and maybe just now paying for that early charge. It's a little bit like Kalle. We saw the charge, the intensity. Remember, we commented it's like a sprint race for him, and you really, really find it difficult to come back from that over 15 kilometres distance. That, combined with the lack of grip now on his skis, two aspects which are allowing the pack to call him back in. Yeah, well, they've cast the line, so to speak, haven't they? And now they're reeling him in. They're trying. Some of the chasing pack are slipping as well. They very glazed the tracks. Alex Harvey slipping there. Most of them are slipping now and again. There's Niskanen at the back again. Kruger very impressive at the moment. The under-23 Norwegian. Klæbo. Sorry, Klæbo, I beg your pardon. And this is a Kruger here, somewhat struggling. His skis, quite interesting. The Norwegian skis, you'd expect them all to be much the same. Some are slipping, some have better grip. And here we go. This is the change of order. 4 on the left there, that's Finn Hågen Krogh. Very consistent in competitions and tours like this. Look at the energy in the pack, though. Now each one of those 12 chasers are thinking, hey, I could win this now. It's giving them a little bit of life, a little kick. Helner's moved up. Alex Harvey there, he's in the pack. He hasn't done much work. He's being quite cute at the moment, I think. He's very clever, and he's such a strong finisher, Alex Harvey in red. Niskanen struggling so madly on the uphill. Well, I wonder, all those Norwegians are thinking, well, maybe today will be our day. Or will Helner perhaps replace Halvarsen as the danger? I mean, Helner, it's worth remembering, you know, he was Olympic silver medalist in Sochi in the skiathlon, and that second place yesterday, the 30-year-old from Gällivare, you can just see him, he's in about 4th place on the far side in the white suit, same as Kalle Halvarsen. Kalle's having to use entirely arm power up over that rise. His grip, he's realising that's the best way, the fastest way to travel over that less severe climb, but he'll have to use his skis and his legs up the next one. Yeah, Alex Harvey just at the back there in that red suit. Just a little bit off the pace, but it's Norway 2nd, 3rd and 4th at the moment into the turn. All credit to Kalle Halvarsen, because I thought he would have been
caught by now. He's done a heck of a job to stay where he is.
He's just dug that little bit deeper, hasn't he? As they're almost making contact, he's raised his game again just to demoralise them, to hurt them a little more.
12 in there. That's Matti Häkkinen. We haven't talked about him for Finland because he's in there. World champion in Oslo. Do you remember? 15 kilometers classic. And he's in the blue race suit that's in amongst that pack.
He's certainly an improved athlete this year, Häkkinen. He had the odd good day last year, but nothing special. Well, there they are. They've caught him.
So now Sundby's won so many tours going on. Now this will be interesting to see what Sundby's tactics are. Is Sundby going to try and make a very big break?
I think he will. I think Sundby had a little chat with him. There was definitely a couple of comments there as he came level with Halvarsson.
Tim Krogh in third place there. Rolling into the stadium. Great picture and a chance for them to consolidate now. The chasing group there. There's Häkkinen right on the left of your picture. Alex Harvey has been alert to that increase in pace that happened, and he's moved up into 5th or 6th position and given himself a much better chance to react to anything that the likes of Sundby does.
You just feel, absolutely, you just feel this race is going to be won and lost on the longest of the climbs. That's where I think Sundby will try and destroy the rest of the field. That's
Kruger off the pace there. And his chance is disappearing.
Well done, Halvarsson. He's not allowing himself to slip any further back in the pack, but he is still slipping a little on his skis.
Yeah, but as you say, he's had to use that double poling strength, and surely that's got to tell.
He's not letting go. He's desperately trying to cling on there onto the tail end of the skis of Sundby. De Fabiani down to 56 now. He started, what was it, a minute 34 behind.
It's all about the front end, isn't it, now? And 7 there. Sundby has a little look around. You sense that the action is about to happen. Hellner needs to move up there. And also Klæbo. They could all be caught by a Sundby break here.
Very much. And Klæbo, the 20-year-old, living with the pace, just surviving with that pace. What a talent he is to be living with that pace at only 20.
Sundby, of course, he was on the podium in the 15-kilometer classic in Ruka. That was last weekend, and 6th yesterday.
Well, Sundby stretched them out on that previous climb.
Halvarsson, all credit to him staying there. And Finn Hågen Krogh, the 26-year-old Norwegian, 5th in the current World Cup rankings, in 3rd place. But this is what we thought would happen. And Sundby, this injection of pace by the Norwegian, the World Cup defending champion.
Oh, this is hurting the pack.
Alex Harvey moving up there, and there's Hellner and Häkkinen in blue on the far side. And there's Klæbo, 5, also Emil Iversen finding the pace tough now. And there's a gap now, and they all know they've got to close because Sundby has gone. He's injected more pace.
Look at this. This is what we saw all last year, all the previous year from Sundby. He can turn, he can dictate, and he can push even harder up these steep climbs.
He's dancing up this hill.
Short stride. Look at the little short strides he's making. Now
this is the move that he has to make, and he has to make this absolutely 100%. And that's why he knows that when you make a break like this, you have to see it all the way home.
He had a quick look over his left shoulder there, and the news in his brain will be, this is good news. It's hurting me, but it's hurting them more. He's got very, very good grip on his skis.
Well, this will certainly make up for yesterday if Sundby can hold them off. And at the moment, you can see Hellner moving into 2nd place. Sorry, Halvarsson. No, it is Hellner. Sorry, Halvarsson has gone back. Hellner is now the leading chaser.
Unfortunately, I think for Halvarsson, he's going to be at the tail end of this front pack by the time he gets to the top of this climb.
Now, there's Sundby. They're in the white suit there. Hellner, runner-up yesterday to his teammate. trying to get Sundby back. He's leading the charge. Kleibo on the left in that under-23 bib. So there you can see 1,700 meters to go. And pretty soon it's all downhill and those corners. And there's Heikkinen of Finland moving up into third place ahead of Finn Hågen Krogh. He can't find any more pace. Alex Harvey also, and Halvarsen, as you rightly said, now dropping back. And Leivo Niskanen, too much, too early, and he's run out of gas.
He's run out of gas, and we saw him slip there as well. The skis are playing a part. You put so much energy into those slips, and it doesn't allow you the great grip that propels you up the hill.
But Sundby knows that he's got to focus, he's got to concentrate on any of these downhill corners. That could spell damage and danger to him. But he's relishing. Look at this. He's really enjoying this. You can tell from Sundby on his face there. He's really gutsing this out. I'm the man. That's what he looks a little over his shoulder there. Sees Hellner a respectable distance behind, and now Sundby on the, and Heikkinen has actually gone past Heikkinen has gone past Hellner.
He absolutely has, and Kleibo is incredibly. Kleibo, he looked like a spent force, but he's managing. His brain is telling him to stay with this pace, and he's in fourth place. He'll still believe he can make a podium.
Well, it's very good for Finland because Leivo Niskanen, well, he's blown out, but very good news that Heikkinen is up into second place. He was 8th yesterday in the freestyle examination. And Sundby now with clear snow. Look at this, they're in single file now.
Heikkinen up into second. He really turned the pace up in the final long climb. That climb goes on for about 2 minutes 20.
Sundby
struggling at the back. Harvey,
32 years of age, bronze medal for Sundby in Sochi in the skiathlon, you might remember. 4th in the 50 free and 13th only in the 15 classic. But remember what happened to him. He was leading the World Cup, and then he got sick, and in Falun the World Championships were just a nightmare. Sundby.
Oh, that's right. The majors, yes, it fell apart for him, but I wonder this year for February and Lahti, I would imagine Sundby will be now. The confidence will be back if he takes this victory, which is entirely likely.
All credit to Heikkinen. He's really chasing hard. He's trying to reduce the gap. He's also 32 from Jyväskylä, and he's a man who's had success. As I said, he won the world title, this man in blue, in Oslo in the World Championships of 2011, and he's charging. He is running strongly. Well,
look at Kleibo as well. I thought he'd had this desire, this spirit that he has, this winning phase that he has in his mind. He's moved up into third.
Dropping down into the stadium now to see the Wiesmann banner, and here we go. The first victory of the season in the World Cup for Sundby, and the prize 33,500 Swiss francs. And he has a little turn around there. Sees Heikkinen being taken on by Kleibo, and what a finish by the youngster. And it is Norway 1-2, Finland third, Norway fourth, and the two, Halvarsen getting back on Hellner. Gutsy effort from Kalle Halvarsen to finish in 5th place. Paul Goldberg, who did a lot of work early on, and then across the line, Finn Hågen Krogh, who looked good until the last 1,700 meters.
Well, that was some incredible 1,700 meters. Halvarsen, I think, because of his poor grip on his skis, he managed to make time on the descent, and he managed to pull back a couple of places on the final 500 meters.
Yeah, the double poling again with him coming in was very, very impressive.
Very much. What about this young man, 20-year-old, third place today in a 3-day. It's not just about today, it's about 3 days of high-level performance. Niskanen suffering from that early incredible attack to close back on the chasers.
You know, and Kleibo in 2nd place. And that is a personal best. He was third in Ruka.
Of course, second.
And now second.
2.3 seconds behind Sumbi. Well, the man has
Haikkonen, a
landed.
season's best. We'll have a look out for Andy Musgrave when he finishes. 17, I think he's just gone across the line. No, that was Larkov who just went across the line. And Muzzy still to get home. So Sundby there's a lot of tired racers coming in here. 27, another of the Swedes, Theodor Pedersen, perhaps better recognised for his sprinting prowess, but Colonia 2 minutes off. But don't worry about that too much at this stage of the season, because he focuses on the big moments, the Tour de Ski and the Nordic Ski Championships, the 30-year-old from Davos. And here you can see how they came home. Terrific power from Klæbo on the far side there to get second place away from Haikkonen. Well, Mike, every Norwegian knows, but Klæbo will know that this is what you have to do if you want to be in the Norwegian team on the big occasion.
Well, he fought and earned his place in the team, and now he's earned his place on the podium. Hopefully he can continue to have an incredible season and maybe even push Sundby.
Well, delighted to see Haikkonen on the podium, because that's another country represented on the podium. It's been a very interesting start to the season, Mike. So many countries with athletes doing well.
It's great to see the Swedes back in the races and Finland back, and I think we'll see Finland getting stronger as the season goes on up to the World Championships in Lahti. It is an exciting season. Russians are probably the team that is weakest at the moment. Sadly for Ustigov, his skis just didn't work.
Back for the race wrap after this. So this is how they crossed the line. Sundby for his first victory of the new campaign, ahead of Klæbo, his Norwegian teammate, his much younger Norwegian teammate, with Matti Haikkonen of Finland on the near side in third. And so that means 25th World Cup success for Sundby, who in the off-season, well, there was quite a little bit of talk about his overindulgence of an asthma product, which caused him to be suspended for a couple of months, Mike.
A couple of months, but it all came from two seasons previously, so 18 months before they brought it to light. I think they handled it quite badly, to be honest. Yeah,
as we talked about, there were quite a few who thought he probably deserved to have an extended gardening holiday, but you have to say today he was absolutely excellent.
He was indeed.
And so 33,500 Swiss francs go to Sundby. Klæbo, a personal best. Matti Haikkonen, how good is it to see him back with a solid performance? And looking down the list a little further from the finish, Iversen for Norway. Halvarsen, who finished in 5th place, having reeled in his own teammate Helner. And that was a gutsy finish from Kalle Halvarsen. And one or two like him, Ustigov in particular, the wax and the ski preparation didn't quite work as they had anticipated. So still one or two to cross the line. Hopefully very shortly we can get a few words from Martin Jonsrud Sundby. Not many more to come home. Andrew Musgrave, bring me up to date with him.
Muzzy, 26th position. He's lost 1 minute and 2 seconds on well, Sundby took the lead time.
So he's in the top 30, World Cup points.
I think you'll be delighted, and I think so he should be. It's been a good 3 days, without a doubt. Yesterday was fantastic again for Muzzy, and of course what he did last weekend in Ruka with his 10th position in the classic technique.
Yeah, so he's had a 10th and an 11th. He was started today in 17th place in the overall World Cup rankings. I mean, real progress. The boy's working hard in that preparation season, isn't he?
Very much. He was up at Glenmore Lodge in Scotland in June with the camp, with Roy and all the team and the extended team, and his average days were brutal. A marathon running in the hills, a climb of 2,400 metres just running, and then sprints the next day, intensive gym work. So he really has put the hours in, and I think he'll reap the benefits this season. Maybe at the World Championships, a real contender for a medal.
Yeah, just reflecting on that, you know, he was 16th in the, 12th in the skiathlon in Falun, 16th in the 15-kilometre free, that's arguably his favourite race, isn't it? His favourite distance.
It is. It absolutely is, and I think the skiathlon will be the one he looks at because he really is a pack racer. He can stick with the pace, and of course his freestyle is his strength.
So we're still going to hopefully hang on to hear the thoughts of Martin Jonsrud Sundby as to how the race panned out for him and how he feels now having got to the top step of the podium again. And he is, we have to say, you know, that he is a man who is very strong, you know, when it comes to these tours, be it the Tour de Ski or indeed some of these mini tours.
Traditionally, he absolutely is, and he's got this incredible strength of mind, Sundby. Gritty fighter in every race, and he doesn't hold back at all. We saw him for a full minute, exhausted on the ground, just trying to get his breath back.
Yeah, they call him the king of the tours, Martin Jonsrud Sundby. So, just reconfirmation again. Really impressed with young Mr. Klæbo. Dierhaug, not a bad run from him as well. Dierhaug, who is a good all-rounder, and you know, he was runner-up in the skiathlon in Lillehammer a year ago.
See, Muzzy was 29th there earlier. My reading on the computer had him at 26th, though, but 29th on the official
Still
results.
In the top 30. Still got a couple of World Cup points.
Delighted.
And you can see that there are a number of notable athletes behind Andy. And, you know, likes of Jean-Marc Gaillard. Mind you, he needs a longer distance. He really needs to be at 50 kilometres to see him at anywhere near his best. Big field today, 87 competitors from 24 countries, but Norway come out on top. Yesterday, no Norwegian on the podium. Today, a Norwegian 1-2. So just to remind the Swedes who had a Swedish 1-2 yesterday that it's not going to be all their way for the coming campaigns. Alex Harvey looked good, but then suddenly when Sundby injected that pace, it wasn't that he was too far back, he just didn't have the gears.
He didn't have the gears. You needed something special like Sundby for the final climb. He just had another gear which nobody else could match up the final climb. And there's Alex. He tried to press with him, but he couldn't stay with him.
But you know, I sometimes wonder, Mike, you know, it's like when you hear chatter about the football season and they're all talking about relegation, and I'm thinking to myself, well, you know, people who haven't quite performed, you know, it's really early in the season.
It is, and a lot of these athletes have come off some glacier training, high altitude training, get the skiing mileage in on the glaciers. So not at their best, a lot of them at the moment.
So Martin Sundby just talking to NRK, a Norwegian broadcaster, as you might imagine. But when you look at the winner of the day, and this is the running race today, Matti Häkkinen taking the honours. We did say when he was finishing that he was moving really fast, so I think that's a feather in his hat.
It really is. He started a minute one behind, and of course Sundby was only 49 seconds behind, so he had to catch Sundby first and then try and stay with him.
Yeah, I do wish the director would leave the graphics on just that wee bit longer so we could actually absorb all the other good performances. And their confirmation of the tour result. It is the first man across the line who takes the big prize. And, well, still two Swedes in there.
You've got to hand it to Halfarsson. He managed to, he got absorbed, he went to the back, and he managed to take himself back up into 6th position. Great credit to him.
Ah, he must have heard me. And there's Andy Musgrave at the end of 3 days of action. And remember, the classic sprint wouldn't have been his cup of tea, really. And 29th place, 2 minutes and 16 seconds back. That's a decent performance. And he will be looking forward to going to Davos next weekend, up at altitude.
Yes, he will. And unfortunately, Andrew Young, who loves Davos, won't be back at the races. Still getting better after his little setback, health setback. So hopefully we'll see Andrew Young doing what he did last year on the podium in sprint racing.
This is the familiar side, isn't it? He's back at the office and he's winning. But look how close the others got to him. Look at Klæbo and also Heikkinen. That sprint finish between the two of them really closed on Sundby. He did ease up a little bit, to be fair. And there you got the overall World Cup rankings. And so Sundby zooms to the top. Kalle Halvarsson in 2nd place. Now, just looking down here to the 3rd page where we should find Andrew Musgrave, and we do. 24th now.
All right, Martin,
that's still
welcome
okay.
Back to
Here's the
a
winner.
tour overall win. It's a familiar position for you. Talk us through that final move on the big climb today. You were waiting for that spot, or you just had a feeling there?
I felt good the second time up. Felt that the other guys were struggling a bit in the long climb. But also looked like Kalle didn't have the best grip today. I just had to try from the stadium all the way up, just to go steady pace, hard. Try to get a few meters, knowing the other guys need to struggle to get to close up those meters. And yeah, I was so, I don't want to use the worst words, but I was tired on the top. Almost lost it, but yeah, it was enough.
Yeah, you had done. We could see it on TV. You did your damage quite quickly, so the rest were just trying to stay close. So congratulations on another tour victory for you here in Lillehammer.
Thank you so much.
Well, incredibly, there's only 3 men in the history of these world tours who've won 3 times, and Sundby now makes it 4. Petter Northug has won, but he didn't start today. Legkopf for the other man. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Great action. The circus moves to Switzerland for next weekend. From Mike Dixon and myself, David Goldstrom, as ever, thank you for watching, and goodbye from Norway.